Hello everyone, and welcome to this example recording on mesh analysis. So in this example, we're going to be looking at the following question, which requires us to determine current I1 and I2 using mesh analysis. Right, so what are we going to do? We can look at both meshes and we can do the required KVL. So what will the KVL expression be? Let's start off with mesh 1. So KVL mesh 1. And in mesh 1, we're going to say, we start off with the negative 12 volts plus 4 I1, and this is capital I1, plus 6 I1 minus I2. So you should remember all the time that this is the reference current, so the current of the loop or mesh that you're in minus the other current that's shared, right? And that will give us 0. So if we further simplify this, we're going to say 6 plus 4 is going to be 10 I1 minus 6 I2 gives me 12, and this is the first equation, right? And if we then do a KVL in mesh 2, what's going to happen is we're going to, if we start on the 10 volts, we're going to say 10 plus 2 multiplied by I2 plus 6. This time it will be I2 minus I1, as I2 is now the reference current, and that will give us 0. So if we simplify this, 10 is, let's start with the current. So we're going to say 10 is equals to, that will be minus 6 I1. So on the other side, it will be 6 I1. And then in place of I2, we're going to have 2 I2 plus 6 I2, which is 8. But it will be negative, so negative 8 I2. So positive 10 is going to give us a negative on the other side of the bracket, 6 and 2, which gives you negative 8 I2. This will be negative, so it'll give you positive 6 I1. And this will be our second equation. And then again, we can use our equation mode to solve for the currents I1 and I2. And these currents will be used, or to get the currents, we're going to be using the coefficients of the two equations. So the first set of coefficients is 10, minus 6, and 12. So we're going to say 10, negative 6, and 12. And the second set of coefficients is 10, is 6, minus 8, and 10. Right, so it's 10, minus 6, and 12, and the second coefficients is 6, minus 8, and 10. And if we solve for that, we find that the first current, I1, is equals to 0.81 amps. So I1 is equals to 0.81 amps, and I2 is going to give us a current of negative 0.63 amps. Right, so this is the usage of mesh analysis to find the currents I1 and the currents I2. And if we compare this to the nodal analysis that we had done earlier, we find that the values in magnitude are the same, I1, and as well as I3. So if we come back and we take a look at this example, we found I1 to be opposite in sign to capital I1, but the value is the same, 0.81, and I2 and I3, capital I2 and I3 will be equal in magnitude as well as in direction, and we get a value of 0.63, which matches the first question. Thank you for watching this video and enjoy the course.